Hi everyone, Susie here with a scrapbooking process video. Today I'm sharing the pictures of our first grandson, Finley Douglas, when he was born 3 years ago. I can't believe I'm just now scrapbooking him. And it seems lately all I do is back papers with tissue paper. I guess it's because of so much leftover tissue paper from Christmas. But anyway, that's what I'm doing here. I'm backing the photos with tissue paper, several layers of tissue paper. And there are two photos. One of us is Stan and I holding Finley after he is born, and the other is of Finley on the scales. And then I am using this Grateful die cut from my Silhouette machine. And the papers I'm using today, the pattern papers, the green and peach, are from Echo Park, This and That. It is an older collection, but I do believe in using my older papers. I am adhering the Grateful with my fine line applicator. You have to use those for these small scripts. And back to the paper, then I will be doing some more layering with the two black and white sheets I believe are from a Felicity Jane pack of paper. Now I'm just deciding which way I'm going to go with the photos because they are different sizes. So I end up with the longer one on the bottom and the square one of Stan and I on the top, and I'm going through and getting a little bit more adhesive in between those layers of tissue paper. And I back the photos first on a basil embossed piece of green paper, and then I'm trimming it down so I can add some more layers of pattern paper underneath it. I'm sorry about the glare in my camera. As I've said in some previous videos today, I also got a new tripod, so I'm trying to figure out that and the lighting and the best direction for my light to go. Obviously, I don't have it right yet, but I'm working on it. So here I'm trimming down that Echo Park paper. It's a really pretty floral, green floral, but I trim it to just where you can barely see the edge of it. I kind of wish I would have left a little bit more on the edge, but I didn't, so it is what it is. And here I'm adding just a strip of black and white bold stripe on the edge because I want to incorporate more of the black into the layout. So I do it a couple of ways. I do it with this, and then my title you'll see will be in black, and then I add some black script paper. So that is the other side of the, which killed me to use the other side of that paper because that floral was so pretty on the back side of that green paper. Oh, that glaring light looks terrible. Just getting that tissue paper adhered down a little bit more. And I end up adding a little bit of liquid adhesive in there because it just wasn't laying quite flat enough for me. You know, because you can still, the edges of the tissue is still going to have a little bit of, it's going to have texture to it regardless, so. And I'm looking at it, deciding where and what kind of embellishments I want to add to the page. And I decide I want to add the just a thin black line around the edge of the white on this layout, just to give it a little bit of depth. And there I show you how I added that with my Micron Secura pen. And then here I'm adding that black script pattern paper, just a little strip at the top and one at the bottom. Going back to the adhesive on this. I do a lot of fussing in that upper right hand corner. I'm adding the title now, and since this point I used to know how to do all things on my Silhouette, but since rediscovering it I'm having to remember things, and one of the things I had to remember or reteach myself was how to weld fonts, which I hadn't figured out at this point. So I am individually gluing each letter of his name to the top, Finley, Douglas, and then at the bottom, Webb, which is fine. I'm glad that I figured out how to weld again. It's actually better since the 3 or 4 years since I've had it, or 5, I don't know how long, because I've upgraded the software, and even though it's a new machine, it kind of works like new since upgrading the software, which I'm pretty impressed with. It cuts better. It just seems like it's easier to work for me, but maybe that's just me. Now I'm working on, I believe, the clusters. And I'm making a little fishtail banner on the right-hand side of the page. And that looks like just a plain white circle, but it actually has, I die cut it, and it's got some stitching around the edge. And then I'm adding my journaling, which says Finley beat his dad's birth weight by 1 ounce. And I want to add these arrows pointing towards the scale because he did weigh in at a whopping 10 pounds 5 ounces. His dad, my son, was 10 pounds 4 ounces. So yeah, we're kind of used to big babies in this family at this point. They practically come out crawling. So now I'm working on that left-hand cluster, and it's just a tab from Felicity Jane with the date, which is October 31st. Now I think I am adding some enamel dots from Simple Stories. And then after that, I didn't have any black enamel dots, so I'm using some black Nouveau Crystal drops to add some black drops. I do love these Nouveau Crystal drops. I mean, they just add such great texture, I think. And if you have a small collection, you can, choose your color, and you don't have to shop your enamel dots quite so hard. So I think that's it for me, folks. There's some close-ups at the end, and I thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.